bro, for being here. Thank y'all for being here, for taking a moment to be with us and hanging out with us. Safe space. Safe space.
Y'all have no idea how much, or how hard rather, it was to prepare this video for you, to the point that I had to succumb and surrender to it being in a different form, which is in the form of audio. Okay? Like, y'all have no idea. So I apologize sincerely for this message coming to you late. We are now 18 days in February. I like to have these wellness or our monthly wellness check-in emails out to y'all at least by the 5th day, maybe the 7th, but especially the 1st. I definitely drafted the entire monthly wellness check-in for you. I had it ready way before February, definitely by the end of January. It was waiting, ready to go. The only thing it was waiting for is this video. Now, I have no excuses. I really dislike making them. However, I will say to you that February and the latter parts of January was rough for me. It was rough. It was rough in terms of my body felt and was calling out to me that rest was a priority. My mind was fatigued. That's just what it felt like. That's what it felt like. And I struggled, honestly, with showing up for myself and having a level of grace for myself for being behind. And so I'm hearing right now balance. You got to have a balance, you know. There's one thing to procrastinate, but there is another thing to recognize what your body is requiring and honoring the requests of your body, being in tune with your body enough to hear what your body is saying to you. So if you don't know who I am, if you have no idea who I am, my name is RIMIDI, and I am a music artist, a visionary for sure, multidisciplinary artist, an educator, an alchemist. Right now, my focus is on my music. However, a part of my art is writing. Being a songwriter and composer, I love to write. Writing is one of the ways that I express myself. In fact, voice memos like these, my friends will tell you, okay? My sisters will tell you. My loved ones will tell you. This is one of the ways I love to communicate. It helps me when it's like me hearing me, or when I'm writing down what I have to say and what I'm feeling. It's like I'm able to observe myself in the process before you do. And I admire that greatly, because there are times where I have so much to say, especially being such a deep river running Scorpio, that it may be a lot for someone else to take in, especially if they're not a Scorpio or some form of water sign. Okay? So today I want to get into the energy of this month, this month's energy theme for February 2026. When I created this, I had an image that said full circle, and it was inspired by a conversation I had with Inez Barletier. Shout out to Inez. And I went to go see her because I needed to pick up some of my equipment from her. She's also a fellow amazing artist, musician, composer, just phenomenal woman. I love to watch her grow. She's younger than I. Not that much younger, but definitely younger than I, to be able to call her a younger woman. However, I went to go see her to pick up my stuff, and we were talking. And I told her, this situation that we were speaking about, which was with regards to the amazing chalet, this is going to be a full circle moment. And she said, you know what? That's one of her songs. That's the name of one of her songs. Her song is called Full Circle. Now, for me, there is no such thing as coincidence. Everything to me is in divine orchestration. Everything is written, even the multiple thousands of potential paths we can take. It's already written. It's a matter of choice, given we have free will as to which path we want to take. So in this monthly wellness check-in, originally, it simply said full circle, the quote for the month. But now I've changed it since reflecting from that moment, right? And I believe this is the reason for this delayed process. One, I had to be able to allow myself to express in other ways that are different and unexpected. Very much like the times, very much like the season we are in. But also to have deeper insight, to gather new information that I can later share with you right now. So with that being said, I changed that quote to 2026 is the beginning of a full circle moment. Everything that you lost is making its way back to you. Better than you could ever imagine. Better than you could ever imagine. You deserve this. You do. God bless. Full Circle by Shelley. May she rest in softness. Now, I write a monthly wellness check-in newsletter that I send out, obviously, every month. I do my best to remain consistent and to get it out, even if it's late, to you, in honoring myself and the commitment that I've made to oneself. And so, for that reason, it's better late than never. Ugh, I dislike that word never. It's better late than anything else. For me to get this out to you at the optimum time. I always like to say, and I heard it too when I made multiple versions of this, because there are times that I've showed up to make a video for you and to later find out that nothing was recorded. I had no space. Mercury retrograde is actually on its way. We are in the shadow period. So we gotta dot our I's and cross our T's regarding anything relating to technology, travel, communication, right? We have to review, reassess, reevaluate, all the re's, because that's what Mercury retrograde is about, rather than to hurt you, but rather to inform you, to have you reevaluate yourself, your processes, and what you have been doing to make you better, to avoid repeating the same things, an effort to have you avoid repeating the same things over and over. It is a refinement, period. So if you have yet to subscribe to my mailing list, you can do so by going to findyourremedy.com, because you may be watching this on YouTube, seeing me for the first time, learning of me for the first time, and having no idea that I even have a website or that I am a music artist. And you want to stay in contact. You like this. So definitely join me over at findyourremedy.com to join the mailing list. There at findyourremedy.com, when you join the mailing list, you will begin to receive emails in addition to the monthly wellness check-in, but also information to keep you up to date as to what is happening with all things Remedy. Because yes, Remedy is a music artist, but Remedy also has a youth organization for girls, which she is the founder for. right? Gem, culture, GEM, culture. I also have an experience that I like to curate called Find Your Remedy, and different variations of Find Your Remedy, right? Hence the name Find Your Remedy. So check that out. So today I'm going to go and tap into this month's energy theme. Let's get right into it. So if you got the email, you definitely got a little beautiful picture that has these themes already in it for you. And if you go to my website, maybe you have yet to get the email, or maybe you missed it, maybe somehow it's in your spam, you can always go to findyourremedy.com, as well as the official website for Remedy, IamRemedy.com, and visit the blogs so that you can be able to be up to date on anything you miss. I do my best to post what I do there. So if you go there, you'll find what I am referring to, which is this month's energy theme. So let's get into it for the third time. Lights, camera, action, shine. We recently, 2 weeks ago, when I was supposed to have this to you, a little bit before that, we had a full moon in Leo. Leo is ideally my favorite. Well, I'm not going to say my favorite, but one of the signs that I do take a liking to. I admire them greatly. They are one of the signs that I usually take to. The Leo, confident, expressive, just very powerful, creative, amazing. Usually you see the Leo, and the Leo is the center of attention. And even if somehow your perspective of the center of attention would be with other people, they are the center of attention in their own world. So even if it's them and them only, or the Leo and their family unit, they are the center of that world. And so they will have it. This is the time. We're still moving through that energy. It's still the time for you to allow yourself to be seen. Maybe you'll be in film. Maybe you're doing photo shoots. Maybe you are showing up more at your job and in your role and in your position in the world, in your duties, in your hobbies, in your communities, in your clubs. Allow yourself to be seen. Allow your talents to shine through, whatever they may. Okay? You hear that dog talking to you? That dog approves. A dog just barked. I hope y'all can hear, because I definitely have no idea what you can hear in my background. But I just heard a dog, and that dog wanted you to know, yeah, she's right. Express yourself honestly and authentically. That is the vibes. That has been the vibes. We are getting ready to move, as I already mentioned, into Mercury retrograde. So have a level of discernment. Have a level of emotional intelligence. Y'all, hear me when I say we all have to practice that. Some of us more than others. Emotional intelligence is key. However, expressing yourself honestly is also key. Saying what you have to say without holding back. In fact, no holding back in anything. No holding back in showing up. No holding back in being present. No holding back in the things that you want to share and express in any form, in any way, whether that be through art, whether that be design, whether that be in any form of creation. And creation is art in every way, even if you find it to be something different than art. Maybe you're a teacher and you're creating your lesson plan. That is art. You know, it's so funny because everybody tells us that we are a creator in this season. We have been told so many times, you are a creator. Yet you have still denied this understanding. In fact, you have no idea, even some of you, what is being said to you. You have been affirmed daily that you are a creator. If you are indeed the child of the Most High, then what else would you be? You definitely would only be that and nothing less, right? You have been given, using the tool that is our mind, the power to create what you see and make it real. So create, allow yourself to move, allow yourself to be inspired. Let me tell you, please move your body. Sacral energy is a thing. That is one of your chakras. It is your second chakra above your root chakra, located right in that navel area. It is amazing. It is amazing. Okay? The more you allow yourself to dance, the more you allow yourself to move your body, to run, to do yoga, to play tennis, to exercise in whatever form you like to show up in your exercises, your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul, it will align to be and want to be more creative, to become more creative. So please do create. We brought up the mind, and the mind is something I love and like to talk about a lot. You all know that. And if you're new to me, you will begin to learn that and discover that I am obsessed with the mind and its very existence. This amazing tool that we can all call the pointing tool. It is a tool that allows, when used properly, meaning when you learn how to focus and where to point your attention, you are able to create great things in this experience. Be reminded that there are so many things outside of you seeking your attention, wanting your attention. Your attention is gold, baby. Diamonds. Diamonds are forever. Oh my God. Diamonds are forever. Your mind is like a diamond. Your mind is so precious. And if you really understood that, then you would be very mindful as to what you focus your attention on and what you give your energy to. Now, I know we're going to vent, okay, sometimes. However, vent once and move on, okay? Maybe twice, maybe 3 times, but let it go. Feel it, process it, then let it go. Because energy flows where attention goes. In other words, whatever we give our attention to will grow. And this is even more important as a collective, knowing, like the neurons in our brain, a very metamorphic or metaphoric. I don't know why I wanted to say metamorphic, but definitely metaphoric idea that you can connect to us as a collective. The neuron in our brain is a complex system, yet connected to one another, and function best when they're all connecting and working. And even better when new connections are made because of new exploration, new thinking, new exposure, new travel, So when we, the collective, expand our minds, allow ourselves to recognize that we are all one and we are all connected, right? And that through expansion, we are able to create new networks, new connections, new people, new information. Then we will begin to understand that it is important that as a collective, we have a responsibility individually and as a collective to be mindful of what we're thinking. Think of yourself as a radio, sending out a signal for others to hear. Those that are like-minded are attracted to that signal and will tune to you. Better yet, tune yourself to the frequency in which you wish to see more of in your reality. Tune yourself to the frequency in which you want to call on. I want to say thank you to my loved ones who allow me to vent, because being someone who knows this, is almost sometimes embarrassing when you express the opposite of favorable things. However, I understand, I understand. However, we want to spend as little time on the things that we don't want and more time focusing our energy on what it is that we do want. Because remember, that chair you're sitting in, that bed you're laying in, that car you're driving in, they were all once in someone's mind. Even the wheel on that car, even the floor beneath your bed and your chair. It was in someone's mind first before it became a thing. I digress. However, staying tuned into the mind, we're moving, or we have been moving in Aquarius. We're getting ready to go into Pisces. Yeah, I appreciate it, but it's not one of my favorites, okay? Pisces is very deeply spiritual. I'm already spiritual. Oh my God. How much more spiritual can you get? It is subconscious. It is dreams. And this is what I appreciate about the Pisces and Pisces energy, Pisces season. Your dreams will be showing up. If you haven't dreamed, I guarantee you will be dreaming during this season. Every time, at least for me, when Pisces season come around, my dreams are activated and they are intense and they are deep and they are riddled in messages and godly, so in tune with the Most High. It is the Most High speaking clear to one. Okay? And all. So with the Aquarius season that we're still in, I believe it ends on the 18th or the 19th. Probably the 19th. The Aquarius energy that we've been moving through and is still surrounding us, right? Because yesterday, because I'm recording this today on February 19th. I actually recorded one yesterday, February 18th, but guess what? It didn't record. So whatever, here we are again today on February 19th, the day after a new moon in Aquarius and a solar eclipse. Crazy powerful energy. I've been feeling this, I'm telling y'all. In addition to like all of that fatigue, I'm almost positive, confident to the T. I said almost, but I am confident that I sense these things. I feel these things. And when I said almost confident, I meant I know that a lot of that, even though I used the word procrastination, et cetera, but I know a lot of that I was feeling was from that energy. I was feeling it before it even arrived. In addition to that full moon in Leo, it was powerful energy. So the Aquarius is the revolutionary, okay? We just moved through that Aquarius sun sign season or sun season. So if you are Aquarius, that's your sun sign. That means when you were born, that's where the sun was positioned. It was moving through the constellation of Aquarius. All of these zodiac signs are constellations. So it's moving through the sign or constellation of Aquarius. Aquarius, the revolutionary, the innovator, the free thinker, the one who thinks ahead, goes far into the future and brings it back into the present, ahead of their time. Very good with money and finances and resources. However, their emotions, sometimes it almost seems like they have none, even though they do. In fact, they are actually very emotional and are deeply processing. On the outside, however, it looks like there are none, so be careful. And I hope you have been careful of being aloof and detached. However, there are some situations, especially that of what we are witnessing externally, where there is a level of detachment you have to guard and protect yourself and your energy. Okay, so have balance. And then we had the Leo full moon, the moon being feminine, the sun being masculine, the moon governing your emotions, the sun governing your personality. This is why you can have one Aquarius be different from another, one Leo be different from another, because we are actually made of different constellations, not just your sun sign. You also have a moon sign. The way you respond to the world emotionally, the way you react emotionally, the sun, your personality, your ascendant, your rising sign, how people perceive you before they get to know you, right? That's knowing your big three. Most people only know their big one, the sun sign. But even beyond the big three, there are more. There's your Venus, there's your Mars, there's your Neptune, there's your Chiron. There's so much more. Your Juno. Juno. Shout out to Juno, the label. My album getting ready to come out in March. I'm so excited. I have to say it. I had to throw that in there. You know I had to. Juno. Okay, focus. These two energies are very different. That is what we've been moving through. Air, the Aquarius, and fire, the Leo. Very, very different energies. Especially when air can blow the fire out. Endings, what's blowing out? What's coming to an end? Very interesting combination. Lots happening in the cosmos right now. I'm going to always point you back to an astrologer, your own astrologer that you like, that is an expert, that knows their stuff. Astrology for me is my hobby. I learned it from me. Yet I am no expert, at least yet. Right now, this is what I love to explore for my own sake, for my own understanding, overstanding, for my own consumption. And as a result, I bless you with what I know. But Neptune's just moved into Aries. Saturn moved into Aries. Neptune's governing illusion. Neptune's was in Pisces and moved out of Pisces and entered Aries, right? Aries, the god of war. Aries, when I think of Aries, sometimes honestly, I hate to say it, I think of conflict. Although Aries are good people that like conflict. So be careful, for real. Be careful, okay? Be careful also, because Pisces is also like that illusion, that dream. So before we were in that illusion of war. I mean, you know, we were in that illusion of just illusion. There was a lot of veil over our eyes. Now we're in Neptune, and there is Neptune in Aries, and there is an illusion of war. Again, not to say there aren't wars happening, but there will be propaganda of wars that are not happening. But because the powers that be know how your mind work better than most of us do. I wanted to say you, but I didn't want to call you out. But because they know it and how it works to the T, oftentimes better than most, they know that oftentimes a lot of us fail to govern our own senses, to protect them, to protect our energy, to protect what we see, what we hear, what we feel. We lack the understanding of the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind. Specifically the subconscious mind that is constantly recording in the background all the things you see. And that is low-key, high-key, creating your reality for the next day. Oh, shoot. Maybe the next month or year. I'm laughing, but it's for real. So when you know that, then you know that you got to guard your mind as if your life depended on it, because it does. So be careful of that illusion. Be careful of like the energy you give, the attention you give, the emotions, especially because it's really in the feeling. It's the feeling. The feeling is key. When we match the mind with the heart, voila, there goes the manifestation. So be careful about the emotions you give behind the thoughts you think, and limit your thoughts that are unfavorable. Feel them, but as an observer. Saturn, the planet of discipline, structure, all that, has also moved into Aries. Be careful, but in a good way. This is a time where you got to go to move forward. You have to go to do the damn thing. It's on you. It's on you. I know you can feel the energy. Everything around us is saying go. You have to go. We're in a fire horse year. We just entered the fire horse year. Happy Chinese astrology. It's really cool that this year we are acknowledging that culture and the idea that there are other New Years in other places, right? Ethiopia, their New Year is totally different. You could look it up and find out when theirs is. Their New Year, I think it's like in September. Please check. No quoting me, okay? But they're like years behind us. They are living in a totally different reality. What does that say to you? You can live in the reality that you desire. You create your reality. You have the ability to create your own reality. The Aquarius, the collective. We talked about the Aquarius. The Aquarius is the collective. It is so important, the collective. And so I love seeing what the collective is doing. The collective is waking up. The collective is learning to lean more into each other, realizing that we do require each other. Okay? That's beautiful. So Aquarius season has been about the collective, reminding us about the collective, reminding us about the mind, the importance of the mind and where we're pointing that to, reminding us about the revolutionary time. Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries, these are placements in the cosmos that took place around the same time of like civil wars and the French Revolution and American Revolution. Like, this is absolutely important that we're paying attention as to avoid repeating the same things over and over and over again. We can actually stop history, our story, her story, from repeating itself, those unfavorable parts, when we are able to identify the trends and identify the patterns. I get real passionate about the things I'm passionate about. My voice increases. It might seem like I'm angry, but I'm very passionate and deeply concerned and in tune and intuitive about what it is I'm speaking about. So just be mindful of these energies, the Aquarius, the Leo, the Aries, allowing yourself to shine, allowing yourself to innovate and recreate yourself, your processes, the things you're doing, how you do them, your routines, especially the Scorpio. Be careful of anxiety, worry, tune into the body. Block out the noise. There is a lot of energy supporting us around that. With Pisces coming around, be careful. Pisces is emotional, yo. Like, I'm a Scorpio. I am emotional. The thing, though, with my emotions, you may not always know that I'm experiencing them. It's very similar to the Aquarius, except when I show them, they are intense. They are intense. They are intense. They are intense. Just like how I told you when I speak about the things I'm passionate about, or when I am really working to get my point across, it may come off as if like I'm angry or I'm yelling, but no, I'm actually expressing, and fortunately, maybe unfortunately for you, it may come off intense. The Pisces is more deeply emotional, whereas the Scorpio process the emotions within. The Pisces almost hold it on their shoulder. Okay, they wear it on their sleeve. So the Leo energy can have a tendency of having anxiety and worrying, and similar to that, it's the Pisces. So definitely make sure that you are tuning in to your body, doing, honoring your body, being in the present moment. That's what the body does. The body keeps us in the present. Do your yoga, do your Pilates, do your gym workouts, do your running, your cycling rather, your swimming, whatever that is. You got to get into the body nonstop, dancing. Like, you have to stay in the body. I just posted something on my Facebook, and what I posted was that we have no choice. We no longer have that privilege of putting ourselves second. Putting ourselves or God second. God first. That means you first. That is no longer an option. Like, you have to constantly make sure that that is what's happening, that you're putting yourself in on the forefront all the time. God first, all the time, 24/7. Okay. And that looks like, and that means honoring your body, taking care of your body, taking care of your temple, and giving yourself grace when you don't, and getting back on track when you fall off. Honoring yourself for the times that you were consistent. That's important. That's so important. That's so important. Sometimes we, like for instance, let's say you worked out 5 days straight. Then you took 2 days off, 3 days off. And now you're beating yourself up because you took those 3 days off, or even another 5 days off. But then you get back to it. But you're still thinking about when you didn't show up. What about when you did show up consecutively for 5 days, when prior to that you hadn't probably showed up at all consistently for, even a day? Like, give yourself credit, okay? But yeah, tune into the body. There's a lot of energy, like I said, supporting this. So yeah, we do have some potential for anxiety. We also have the support to show up for ourselves with all of this Aries go energy, okay? Now, make sure that you continue, just as the theme of last month, to embody home being first in your body, and also your external home, making sure your home matches the energy that you want to call in, that it's matching the environment that you want to call in. Even if that means you have to change your attire, you have to change your look, you have to change your hair, you got to change your circle, you got to maybe even change your town and go somewhere else if that's necessary, if that's what you have to do to allow yourself to feel as an energetic match as to what it is you're calling in. And start small, because maybe there is a limitation in your mind that makes you feel like right now, this second, you have to be in a certain environment. That's what you have. And maybe that is what it is, because that is in divine orchestration, that's where you are at this current moment. And that could be your job. That could be your home. That could be friendships. That could be cities. That could be anything. That could be relationships. That could be anything. But start where you can start. Work with what you have. Work with, even if it's putting a plant in your space, adding crystals to your room, burning incense. And maybe they say you can't burn incense, so you burn oils. You know what I'm saying? You got to find what you can find and do what you can do to work to create that. Let me remove that word work. To embody what it is that you are calling in. And yeah, absolutely, you can have the life that you desire, and you can be as perfect can be, okay? Your version of that. No one is perfect, but you can be as perfect can be. By all means necessary, you do not have to be the person that you were. You can actually absolutely become the person you want and are called to be. Please create space for rest. This is especially for the men. Oh my God, men, I know it's kind of like in your nature, and it's kind of like what society has told you. I'm going to say to you that you have to create the space for rest, because otherwise your body will make you do it. It will do it for you. And it would be unfortunate for it to happen while you're driving on the road and your body shuts down and you fall asleep. That's a really bad look, right? So be mindful of that. Ladies, in the beginning of this, I was expressing like one of the things that I was definitely feeling was the absolute necessity to honor my body through the changes. I've just had a major life change. My reality is changing as we speak. My reality has changed, and it is constantly changing day to day to day to day to day, day by day, especially as I work diligently on my mind, right? And the things that I'm thinking and that I'm visualizing and feeling. And so having more emotional intelligence. Some days I'm good, some days I'm not. But having more wins in this area, in these areas, than I do losses. And one of the things I recognized was the importance of honoring my body in this new season. And that the way my body is expressing itself is in its natural rhythm. For so long, I have been operating on someone else's rhythm and what is necessary for them and the work that they need and what they require to be done. And now I'm in a season where I'm able to honor my body in the way in which is necessary for my body and what is necessary for me to show up in a patriarchal system that wants you to go, 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 go all the time. Men and women, Mars and Venus, shout out to Gino Black. We are different. The man's cycle is a daily cycle. The woman's cycle is a monthly cycle. We flow with the moon. Okay? We flow with the moon. They flow with the sun. We flow with the moon. The moon has a cycle. Okay? The moon is not always seen. There are times where the moon has to go and rest or work behind the scenes or do things behind the scenes without yet showing it to the world or others in their lives or the world. So be mindful of that and allow yourself to tune in more to what your body is saying versus what the world is saying your body needs to do. And specifically personalize it to your body and your body's specific rhythm. This is important, ladies. Men especially, is very important for you. I've been hearing that so much. Like, work harder. Baby, let me tell you something. These wealthy people out here ain't working harder. Okay? They are working smarter. Okay? You're going to work yourself like a dog into the grave. Stop that. And ladies, especially you, because you're working out of tune already. Because that is not your rhythm. Okay? Now, explore new places, new things, new thought processes, new habits, new cycles, new rhythms, new routines, whatever, new people, restaurants, adventures, all of it, rest, all of it, okay? Explore also, like I said again, especially the Scorpio, explore your routines and your daily habits. Check in with yourself often, everyone. Check in with yourself often. Check in with how you feel. Oftentimes we like to check in with other people and see how other people are feeling. What about you? How do you feel in this situation? How do you feel right now? Okay? Check in with you first, because you may find that in checking in with yourself, you may end up having to say no. You may end up having to walk away. You may have to decline. You may have to do something different. You may have to be quiet. You may have to observe. But you will only know this if you check in with yourself. Shoot, you may have to be still. You may have to move forward. You might have to go. But you have to check in with yourself. Know when to exit. That's what I'm hearing. Know when to exit, know when to enter. Know when to exit, know when to enter. Provision is always present, and that's what it is. You know, many times over and over again, God constantly provides. God is constantly showing up, and all of your circumstances are constantly always working out for you. Stop forgetting that. Focus more on what you want. Focus more on the wins. Okay? And then in focusing on the wins, you will find that you have a lot more wins than you have losses. And there are some seasons that we have more losses. However, losses are still wins if we utilize them right, if we do it right, and take them to make more wins. Okay? Be the revolution. You are the revolution. The revolution is happening right now. And it starts within your mind. Revolutionary. These are revolutionary times we're living in. This is why I'm saying you can no longer afford to put yourself last. You can no longer afford to put God last. God, you must put yourself first. Okay? All right. Things to be mindful of, and we're going to close this out. We already talked about a lot of this. Be mindful of where your attention is going. Where is your pointing to pointing? Be mindful of distractions. There's a lot of distractions out here. Put your Instagram and social media, all that stuff, Facebook, all that. Put it on a schedule, please. Put it on a schedule. Limit your time on it. And as I said in the monthly wellness check-in for February 2026, this month, please read more. Take some time to read. I'm going to pick up a book tonight. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I have this really cool book on leadership that I want to finish. And let me tell y'all what it's called. Let's see. This book is called The Power of Evolved Leadership by Stephen Young and Barbara Hochfeld. I'm going to read a chapter tonight. Be mindful of doing what God has called you to do. Like I said, you have no choice now. Do it. Obey. Be obedient. Own your power. Own who you are. Be mindful of grief. I'm going to let you have your own interpretation of that, but be mindful of grief. How it's showing up, how it may be impacting you. Or maybe you're experiencing grief somehow, some way. And it may not even be a physical death. It could be a job or a relationship. But again, you take that how you take it. I'm hearing to say again, do what God has called you to do and own your power. Be mindful of certain habits. Be mindful to hone in on them. Hone in on hone in on these habits, whether they're good or bad. Hone in on the bad ones so you're aware of them. Be aware, because it's first acknowledgement. You got to first be aware. You have to first be aware, and then you have to acknowledge them. And that is when change happens. If you are unaware or aware yet to acknowledge them, there is no room for change. So make sure that you are aware and acknowledge them, hone in on them, and definitely hone in on the habits that are working. Make them better. Okay? Niche down. Clarity, expertise, be mindful of that. Focus on one thing as much as possible. Of course, you may do some other things here and there. You may get some odd jobs here and there. You may get some jobs in other areas that you are expert in, right? But right now, become an expert in one thing so people can know who you are and what you do. But so you can know who you are and what you do. And then use that as a tool to expand upon the other beautiful, amazing gifts that your amazing, multifaceted self has, okay? And just because I'm saying niching down, clarity, expertise, and be mindful of that, and mindful of all these things, be mindful because these things may not necessarily apply only to you. It may apply to things you're observing in other people, places, things, ideas, habits. Okay? Now, you can actually be a better person and a better version of you. I told you this, as close as perfect can be. As close to perfect as perfect can be. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of godly things, godly people. I do know. Godly things, godly people, godly ideas, godly settings. Godly. This is favorable. Be mindful of that, whatever that means to you. But I'm going to tell you what. Be mindful to stay yourself very tuned in, tapped in to godly things, godly people, godly places, and God in general. Listen to gospel music. Listen to positive, uplifting music. Stay in good energy. Limit anything that is the opposite of that, or refrain from indulging at all. Be mindful of abusing power and or becoming cynical. Be mindful of being too aloof and detached. Again, as a reminder, the things to be mindful of may apply to things outside of yourself. It may apply to you. It may also apply to other things, or may only apply to other things. Okay, finally, I got it done. Now, if this thing tell me it's 50 minutes long, I know this was long as heck. I told myself that as long as these videos, specifically the monthly energy theme, as long as it has to be, it's going to be. And that's without apology. So if you got to listen to a little bit at a time, then that's just what it is. But if you made it this far, congratulations. It's a full circle moment. Guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your energy. And oh my God, please, please, please guard your heirs, your families, and your loved ones. Let nothing, absolutely nothing, come in between you. There's some things and people that may like that. But that wouldn't be a good thing for us, would it? Okay, now. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
You're the kind of girl that makes my heart skip beats every time we speak. I can never find the words to say to you. It's true, but I can't help but be this way. Since things in the past has only stole my heart away. From my observations, you are starting to lose patience. Seems like you are tired of waiting. Always seems so aggravated, but only if you knew, baby, all the strength it takes to make me open up to you. Don't like me, it ain't hard to see.